Hey y'all, welcome back. It's another day in the high tunnel, so thank you so much for joining me. If you are new here, my name is Barbara. I'm in Tennessee in Zone 7B, and we are in my tunnel, and we are all still about this fall planting. Yes, it has been time for us to get the seeds, the seedlings in the ground that we started together. If you've been watching my previous videos, you know that we took the time and got all of the summer crops out of the tunnel, and then we started planting our raised beds. For the most part, the raised beds are, I would say, about 80% done. I'll show you that. We still got a little bit more to do, but since I have my husband here to help me today, we're gonna actually start doing the in-ground rows. So if you are new here in our hot tunnel, it is 30 by 96. We have 6 raised beds that are 4 by 8, and then we have 5 rows that are 45 feet long. And so that's what that are in ground. So that's what we're gonna start planting today. That's the majority of the work. So let me just show you, if you haven't seen, it's completely bare. My husband's just going through and cutting the twine, the jute twine that we use to string up our tomatoes for the summer season. So he's getting rid of all of those strings. He has cleaned it out, blowed it out. It looks absolutely fantastic in here. I'm like, I just don't want to mess it up, but we got to plant this food. So let me tell you what we have going on. So we have a big wheelbarrow that's full of compost, and I've added amendments to it. I've added blood meal for nitrogen, and I've added kelp meal for potassium. Those are the things that my soil needs. So it's a little bit different than what I use in the raised beds. Different in terms of the product, but in terms of the nutrients, it is the same. In terms of the nutrients, it's exactly the same, but just a different product. I ran out of there's a little bit of trifecta in there, but that was the last of it. I ran out of that, and I also ran out of the all-purpose plant food that was a 505. If you saw me do that in my raised beds. So I just used what I had on hand to meet the same need. So I have a big wheelbarrow. I've kind of broken it down into smaller buckets so that I can work. I got my stool, and so we are going to get to planting. So the first row that I'm going to be planting and working on is a row of collard greens. We have our beautiful seedlings. Let me show you. You can see what they look like. They look great. They look fantastic. I have some that have a little bit of purpling going on. That just means it needs some nitrogen and all of that. Once they get in the ground, they should be fine. But for the most part, I think they look great. We started these together probably about 4 weeks ago now, and so they're getting ready to go in the ground. Okay guys, not sure if you can see, but we have officially planted this whole left side of the tunnel. So we started back there with the cucumber. You can see the cucumbers on the left, and I just saw a cucumber over there. So we planted behind the cucumbers, and then we planted these 2 rows. My husband is now on row number 4, and we're halfway through that one. So all we have left is this. So we have been rocking and rolling. Okay, so this bed right here is all cauliflower. It's a mix of white cauliflower and cheddar cauliflower. This bed right here is our lettuce, and we have red cabbage and regular cabbage in there. You saw the bed that we covered. I don't even remember what's in there anymore. So in this bed we have lettuce, we have cilantro, and then we have red and green kale. In this bed are our carrots and our radishes. And then in this bed here are our herbs, and then we have bok choy and a couple of arugula. So pretty much all these beds are planted. So I wanted to show you this bed again. I peeked in here to remember what we planted in here. It's spinach, bunching onions, and let me take this clip off. Let's see. Brussels sprouts. Yeah, so we have Brussels sprouts. I got a lot of Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts, onions, and spinach. That's what's in this bed. I still got room to add more in this bunching onions row. I can add some more bunching onions or something else. that can kind of grow in between the Brussels sprouts. But if you didn't see the video where I talked about these hoops, we're gonna eventually, about to do this, it's probably right now, is cover the rest of these beds with the hoops and this insect netting. And then I want to show you the clips. I did on the other video, I did not have the clips because they were coming in, and they actually came today. So let me show you what they look like. Looks just like this. So I'm going to show you how I use these to clip the insect cover, and they work really, really well. And you can see that this stuff looks good. It's been covered up for the last 2 days. So let me show you how this works. Okay, so I'm going to put a clip down here, and then put some extra clips over here. Now these are not big enough to clip on the side of the bed, so I have to clip it to the actual hoop. So this material, this insect cover, is porous. It's a polypropylene woven fabric. I got it from Tarps America. The clips I got from Amazon. I'll link them in my Amazon shop. But this material is breathable. So the plants get air, they can get water, and they can get sunlight. So I don't have to lift this up in order to water it. I can water it and it will go through the insect fabric. But before I put the hoops and the netting over all the rest of these raised beds, I'm going to go ahead and give them a good water, and then the drip will come on tonight, which will be good. And that's another thing, because I have drip in all of these beds, then I don't necessarily have to water manually. I only have one bed that's missing one drip line that I'll have to manually water, but for the rest of them, they're pretty much lined up where the drip is. So I'm going to go through, do a water for everything that we've put in the ground, and then we're going to get more hoops and insect netting on. Okay guys, it's the next day, and I came out here to push through, get this last row done. All that is left for this entire tunnel to be complete with fall planting is this last row, and then for everything to be covered. After that, we can have a sigh of relief that we got it done. So let's see if we can push through and get this last row done. Y'all, we got it done. We got it done. So my husband is now blowing everything out. I probably should have waited to water after he blew everything out, but it made a little bit of a mess, but that's okay. So I went all the way down to about halfway. I left that rest of that aisle or that row open on purpose because I still have a tray of seedlings from my second succession that we did together, that I'm going to put out probably in 2 to 3 weeks when they'll be ready. So I left half of that row open, as well as I have some other spaces in one of the other rows, and then I have a couple of spaces in the raised bed. Also, if for some reason some seedlings don't make it or have transplant shock or anything happens, then at least I have some that I can pull from in case I need it. It's always better to have more than enough seeds than not enough. And you never know when you plant something in the ground. Something could eat it. Something could get trampled on. Anything can happen. So it's always good to have a few extra until you know that they are good, strong, and established. But I'm so excited and so glad to say that we have pretty much this whole high tunnel planted for fall 2024. Okay, my husband got it all blown out. I have watered everything, and then I also went behind and fertilized. I fertilized with Ultra, which is a probiotic for the plants. I've talked about that several times. It's through AgriGrow. And then I use the product from rev.com it's the one that I use is the AMP, which is the plant algae that's specifically for seedlings. I also used some fish emulsion, and then I used a product from MI Gardener called Sassy Lass. Sassy Lass is not a fertilizer. It actually feeds the soil and increases the microbial activity. It's my first time using it. So that's what I put on all of the plants and sprayed it down. So now what we're doing is I'm putting hoops out, and then we're gonna get ready to cover everything. So we only have one final step, and we can say, check. Okay guys, we have 1, 2, 3 of the beds covered, 4, and my husband's working on number 5. Y'all, so what I remember, I told you I bought this from Tarps America. It's Agribond 19. And remember I told you there's 3 different weights. And this size that I bought, I think it's 10 by 50. My beds are 4 by 8. So we've been able to cut 1 piece of fabric to cover 3 beds, which is awesome. Absolutely awesome. And that way they will be pre-cut for next time. It was hard to find the exact configuration of my beds, which is typical when you're buying like insect cover, frost cover, you know. And so I went bigger. And I think I said I think it's 10 by 50. I'll look at the package again, and if it's not, I'll put it up here. But I know that 50 is the length, and I think it's 10. But anyway, we were able to cut it and get 3 for each bed. So really, I think I bought a total of 5 packages, 5 covers, and 2 will cover all these beds. So now I'll just need those for the in-ground space, and those rows are 45 foot long, so those won't have to be cut. They should hopefully go the whole length. But now with the hoops and stuff, I may be a little short. We'll see how that works. But these are the ones I bought, but I still have some that we used from last year as well. So when I say it's an investment because these will last me, I mean, for years. Absolutely. So at the end of the season, we just fold them up and we put them in Rubbermaid totes. I knew that I did not have enough last year. That's why I bought some new ones, and I really like this brand and this material. Some of the ones I bought last year were also Agribond, but they were frost cover and not insect cover. So the difference is it is a heavier weight. I want to say it was Agribond 30 or 50. I can't remember which one. So it's heavier weight to take the place of frost cover. And last year in my zone, it got down to 0, I think 3 days in a row. I did not lose any of my crops. By God's grace, we did not lose any crops. It was that way for the last 2 years because we covered with frost cover, and we had a really good frost cover. And one particular time, I think it was last year, we actually did 2 layers of frost cover. This is all the stuff that I talked about in my fall garden planning class. So if you missed that, you can still go get the replay. If for some reason you're in a zone behind me and you have not started your fall garden, if you want to get that replay of the class that I did, you can just go to the link in my bio, go to our website and go to the events page, digital resources, and you can download and purchase the replay. But this is what we talked about in the fall gardening class. So the ones that came, they're ahead of the class. They are ahead of the class. So we're going to finish doing this very last bed. That I think that we are going to call it quits because the sun is about to get us and it's about to get dark. But then all I'll have left is this right here. So by the next time you see me on video in this tunnel, this should be done. It should be done. I'm so grateful, thankful, relieved that we got it all done, like literally by first, second week of September. I was able to meet my goal to get it done before I have to leave to go out of town, which is a blessing. That's what I was hoping for and praying for. They're watered, they're fertilized, and I still have a whole nother tray of seedlings from our second succession that they should be ready to go in the ground in about 2 to 3 weeks. I probably need to up pot them and give them some more space, but everything is done. I have some spaces that I intentionally left open for that second succession that we're going to do. I will probably do one more major succession. I'll do that usually around November-ish, so that it can be in the ground by January, and that'll carry us until March. And then after that, we back on the summer train. It goes just like that, y'all. Everything is for a season. Do y'all remember how just a few months ago we were so excited? We were starting our seeds together. We were so excited for the summer season, and now we laid out. We tired. I know I am. Now, keep in mind, for the last few videos, you've only seen me in here because we've been working in here, but also y'all don't want to see out there. You do not want to see out there. It is a high-level mess. It is. And there's still food out there. We're going to get to that, but I had to finish this first. So maybe in an upcoming video, you'll be able to see the outside garden and what a jungle and what a mess it is, because I have not been out. I've been out there to water my potatoes, and I just look and I just keep on moving. Like I can't even, because your girl is tired. But that's how it is at the end of the season. I'm tired. Are you tired? Let me know if you're tired, if you still got something in you for this summer season, especially if you're in my zone. Now, if you're like in zone 8 and stuff, then you're just now getting all of your stuff in. I mean, or 8, yeah, probably 8B. You're just getting all your stuff in. Me, I'm tired. But we push through, y'all. We got it done. Sometimes you got to dig. You got to get it from way down there and pull it up just to get it done. But always remember the bigger picture. Always remember, why are you growing food? What's going to happen if you don't grow food? And so for me, I had to talk to myself and say, girl, you got to get this done, because you have a finite window to get it done if you want everything to be in the order that you want. And at the end of the day, what I don't want is to be handcuffed that I got to go to the store to get me some kale, and I got to go to the store and buy me some old raggedy lettuce from the store. I don't want to be. That's why I'm growing my own. So I want to encourage you. I want to inspire you. I want to motivate you to continue to grow food, even in the hard times. And so if you're like me, if you laid up right now watching me with your feet up, that's okay. You can have your feet up, but tomorrow, get out there in that garden. Finish whatever is on your to-do list, push through and get it done. You'll be so glad that you did. Remember, gardening is a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.